It's a girl. She's mighty pretty. She's beautiful.
Disney's live-action Snow White bombed so spectacularly at the box office that it sparked a media firestorm, with Rachel Zegler emerging as the queen of controversy as she fearlessly clapped back at every critic and haters alike. Amid shocking casting controversies, relentless online backlash, and explosive behind-the-scenes drama, Zegler's savage takedown not only sealed the film's disastrous fate, but also redefined her career and public image overnight. In this video, we're serving up all the steamy, untold details on how this cinematic catastrophe is reshaping the future of Disney's live-action remakes. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of this epic fallout. When Disney announced the 2025 live-action remake of Snow White, expectations were sky-high. Fans and critics alike predicted a glittering success, celebrating the reinterpretation of a timeless fairy tale for a modern audience. However, what was supposed to be a revival of Disney magic instead turned into a commercial and cultural debacle. Casting in Hollywood is always a hot topic, and this film was no exception. Rachel Zegler, who quickly became the face of the film, was thrust into a whirlwind of both praise and criticism. Throughout the filming process, casting choices sparked debates online and in the media, with some claiming that the decisions undermined the story's legacy, while others argued it was a much-needed update for modern audiences. These controversies only deepened as further details emerged about the production environment itself, with insiders hinting at mounting tensions and unresolved creative conflicts behind closed doors. It's a stark reminder that even the most anticipated projects can fall prey to internal and external pressures.
Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
Nobody wants a movie about true love. What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? It's the outrage.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantata is the only global solution.
In this video, we'll explore how a project with such incredible pedigree went off the rails, from its initial casting controversies to the relentless online backlash. We're about to unpack what this means for the future of blockbuster remakes. In a shocking box office catastrophe, Disney's Snow White remake raked in just $3.5 million in previews and $43 million during its opening weekend on a jaw-dropping $250 million budget, leaving theaters nearly empty, even during Discount Tuesday screenings. Compared to The Little Mermaid's impressive $95 million debut, this flop sparked a viral moment when Rachel Zegler and her friends were spotted in a deserted theater, and a bewildered Regal employee's reaction became an internet sensation.
Please?
For which movie?
Stay tuned as we break down how this disastrous release turned empty seats into a meme and what it means for the future of Disney's live-action remakes. A viral photo of Rachel Zegler and friends in a deserted screening, plus a baffled Regal employee unsure the movie was even showing, turned the box office failure into an internet joke. Fans mocked the flop with memes and even joked about starting a GoFundMe to help Disney recoup its losses.
They should get Doged looking at this movie. They spent $250 million making that movie.
This underwhelming performance contrasts sharply with the $95 million debut of Disney's previous live-action remake, The Little Mermaid. The film's lackluster reception has led to discussions about Disney's future approach to live-action adaptations. Rachel Zegler's viral speech, where she compared herself to the fragmented winged victory statue and urged fans to wait in line, only intensified the mockery following Snow White's collapse.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Tensions with co-star Gal Gadot reached a boiling point when Zegler's sly pageant queen jab at the 2025 Oscars ignited controversy, compounded by political clashes as Zegler's controversial stance clashed with Godot's background. Amidst escalating drama, the feud not only spurred public backlash and meme-worthy moments, but even forced Disney to ramp up Godot's security, making this one of the most explosive celebrity feuds of the year. As soon as the film hit theaters, the critical reception was nothing short of a shock to Hollywood insiders. Major publications lambasted the script, the direction, and even the reimagined characters, which many felt strayed too far from the beloved original. Simultaneously, the film's box office numbers began to reflect these harsh critiques. Financial analysts and industry watchers quickly noted that this project, backed by Disney's storied reputation, would usually be a safe bet, but not this time. The film's disastrous performance wasn't simply a matter of bad luck. It symbolized a deeper cultural disconnect that even Disney's legacy couldn't overcome.
This is really a bad movie, and I apologize to Walt Disney himself. I'm sorry.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Disney's PR meltdown hit fever pitch when Zegler's controversial post declaring the most stupid and unhinged garbage alarmed Disney execs, who felt she was alienating nearly half their audience. To calm the storm, producer Mark Platt even flew out twice to talk her down, and the studio eventually hired a social media expert to vet her posts. Adding fuel to the fire, Jonah Platt publicly slammed her for behavior he claimed cost the film its success, making this one of the most explosive celebrity scandals of the year. In today's digital age, no scandal remains hidden for long, especially when it involves a global icon like Disney. Social media erupted with viral posts, heated debates, and relentless criticism. Longtime fans, who had grown up with the original animated classic, were not shy in voicing their disappointment. Some argued that the film's modern twists were a betrayal of the story's essence, while others lamented the loss of the traditional values that once defined a Disney masterpiece. The online backlash wasn't just a series of isolated opinions. It became a movement that arguably influenced the overall reception and eventual commercial collapse of the film.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
Rachel Zegler ignited fierce backlash when she dismissed the original 1937 Snow White's love story as weird, labeling Prince Charming outright a stalker. In a bold twist for the remake, she vowed to completely abandon the traditional romance, sparking outrage among die-hard fans who wondered why she even signed on to such an iconic tale. Many were left asking, if she disliked the classic so much, why take the role in the first place? This controversial stance has fueled heated debates online, challenging long-held perceptions of the beloved classic and redefining expectations for the film. As if poor critical reception and a disappointing box office weren't enough, behind the scenes, the production was riddled with drama that further fueled the public's discontent. Reports of clashing creative visions, troubled management decisions, and even rumored disputes between key members of the cast and crew began to emerge. With every new revelation, the film's potential for recovery seemed more remote, solidifying its status as a cautionary tale about how not to handle a blockbuster in the modern era. This behind-the-scenes chaos not only tainted the public image of the project, but also created lasting ripples across the entertainment industry. The controversy surrounding Disney's Snow White remake intensified when actor Peter Dinklage criticized the film's portrayal of the Seven Dwarfs, labeling it a backward story, and accusing the studio of hypocrisy for attempting to be progressive while perpetuating outdated stereotypes. In response, Disney scrapped the traditional dwarfs and replaced them with bizarre CGI magical creatures, and stated they were consulting with members of the dwarfism community to avoid reinforcing stereotypes, a move fans found creepy, awkward, and totally off-brand, and this decision sparked further backlash. Fans found the CGI magical creatures unsettling, and actor Weeman argued that replacing traditional dwarf roles effectively erased job opportunities for actors with dwarfism, creating another public relations issue for Disney. It turned what was meant to be a woke decision into yet another embarrassing PR disaster for Disney.
You're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's for dwarfs. you know?
That is totally uplifting and the right way to be woke, Link, when you actually cancel the roles for the marginalized population because just putting them on screen is somehow racist.
Disney's live-action Snow White remake faced a subdued promotional rollout, reflecting the studio's cautious approach amid mounting controversies. Instead of the usual red carpet extravaganza, Disney opted for a quiet, daytime event at the El Capitan Theater in LA for the Snow White premiere, noticeably lacking its usual press buzz. The Hollywood premiere on March 15, 2025, at the El Capitan Theater was notably scaled down, lacking the typical red carpet press coverage. This decision was influenced by the ongoing debates surrounding the film, including criticisms of casting choices and narrative changes. In Europe, the premiere was held at the Alcazar of Segovia in Spain on March 12, 2025. This location, which inspired the castle in the original 1937 animated film, was chosen to provide a fairy tale setting for the event. The choice of venue and the overall low-key nature of the premieres suggest Disney's intent to minimize potential backlash and maintain control over the film's narrative during its release period. So the European premiere was even more discreet, held at the Alcazar of Segovia in northern Spain, a fairy tale setting with little media attention. Many saw this scaled-back rollout as a clear sign. Disney was bracing for backlash and trying to avoid the storm rather than face it head-on. Disney's 2025 live-action Snow White remake has become a case study in how not to reboot a classic. The film's failure wasn't just at the box office. It was a cultural implosion marked by misaligned marketing, political controversies, and a disconnect with the fan base. The movie opened to a disappointing $42 million domestically, with a global total of approximately $170 million against a production budget exceeding $250 million. This shortfall has led to an estimated $115 million loss for Disney. Lead actress Rachel Zegler's public comments further fueled the controversy. Her criticisms of the original 1937 film, labeling Prince Charming as a stalker, and her political statements, including her vulgar remark, alienated a significant portion of the audience. These actions prompted Disney to assign a social media expert to manage her presence. Additionally, the film faced backlash for replacing the traditional seven dwarfs with CGI magical creatures, a decision criticized by actor Peter Dinklage and others for erasing roles for actors with dwarfism. This move was seen as an attempt at progressiveness that backfired, leading to further public relations issues. The subdued promotional efforts, including a low-key premiere at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles and a quiet European premiere in Spain, suggested Disney's lack of confidence in the film and a desire to avoid further controversy. In summary, Snow White serves as an example of the challenges studios face when modernizing beloved classics without alienating their core audience. The combination of controversial casting, political missteps, and deviations from the original story contributed to its downfall. In the end, this remake didn't just stumble. It became an accidental masterclass in how not to reboot a beloved fairy tale. When we step back and look at the fall of Disney's Snow White remake, it becomes clear that the collapse was not merely the result of one misstep. It was a cascade of failures that touched every part of the production process. Industry experts are now discussing this film as a perfect case study on the risks of modern remakes, the importance of respecting cultural legacies, the potential pitfalls of modern reinterpretation, and the immense power of social media in shaping public opinion. In our expert analysis, we discussed how the balance between innovative storytelling and honoring a classic legacy is extremely delicate. Sometimes, even the most celebrated studios can miscalculate. Before we wrap up, we want to hear from you. What do you think led to the film's catastrophic downfall? Was it the controversial casting, the poor creative decisions, or simply the impossible task of reinventing a beloved classic? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We love engaging with our community and hearing all sides of the debate. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We have plenty more insider stories, expert analyses, and the hottest Hollywood gossip coming your way.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.